Hello, happy family. Wishing everybody a happy weekend. I hope you're having a blessed day. In today's video, I'm going to share with you my classic Ghanaian Tuo-Zaafi or Ayoyo recipe. In fact, this recipe is so delicious. It's been a while since I had this, so I decided to show you how I prepared this deliciousness right here. In fact, you can make it for your friends, your loved ones, your family, and they will be so pleased to try this recipe. So please don't go nowhere. Come with me and let's start cooking. Alright friends, so first of all, we're going to start by seasoning our meat. You can use any meat of your choice. So this is what I'm going to use to prepare the stew. Next, I'm going to add here my onion. This is what I'm going to use to season my meat. And I'm adding here rosemary. You can use any spices of your choice. I'm using spices that I have in my pantry. And so feel free and use whatever you have as well. Okay, I believe you have a very nice spices that you can also use for your cooking. Alright, so after we add all our spices, make sure that you stir so that the seasoning will go everywhere and it will taste absolutely delicious. That is what I'm doing right here. So next we're gonna add water right here, and we're going to use that to steam our meat. Remember, we have cow feet in there, so we have to cook it into tender. So cover and have it steam for about 35 minutes. While our meat on the stove, we're just going to wash our vegetables. So I have here tomato, bell pepper, onion, and habanero pepper. But you can use any preferred vegetable of your choice. That is what we're going to use. So after we wash it, I wash it just twice, as you can tell. I'm going to dice them up into small pieces. So we're trying to make this recipe as quick as possible. I don't really like spending too much time in the kitchen because it's just me and my family, so I don't want to spend like hours of cooking. So we're going to try and make this recipe as quick and simple, that everyone can easily make it at home. Okay, so just go ahead and dice them up into small sizes that your blender can take it. And next I have here one onion. I'm gonna add them in there. So friends, what I'm gonna do right here is that I'm gonna add all the vegetables together. Okay, I'm not gonna add them separately. I'm gonna blend everything together. So I have here my fresh ginger roots in there. I really love the flavor of ginger. Okay, it's added a very nice taste to the sauce and I'm really happy about it. So while we get everything together, I'm just gonna add here my garlic. You can add any amount of your choice and just go ahead and blend them into a very nice and smooth consistency like how you're seeing right now. Okay, so after we blend it, let's go ahead and check our meat. So our meat has been on the fire. Of course, I've been checking it back and forth, and it has been about 30 minutes so far. And I feel like the beef is nicely done, but the other ones are not. So I'm just going to cover it back again and have it steam for another 20 minutes. Meanwhile, we're going to start preparing our sauce. So I have here palm oil. You can use any oil of your choice. And I have here one diced medium onion. I just added in there. I'm going to fry them up for just a minute. So let's leave it on the stove. Alright, so once we have our okra ready, I'm just going to add only half of the pack. Okay, I'm not going to use all of it because I think it's too much. Yeah, so just half of it should be enough for me. And after we wash it, I'm just going to cut the head off and I'm going to cut them into a big sizes. I will show you the reason why in a minute. Okay, I think this is like the easiest way for me whenever I make Tuo-Zaafi recipe. I just try to dice my okra this way and I cook it, and that is the best way. Alright friends, so it has been about 1 minute and I'm going to add my tomato paste right here. You can add any tomato paste of your choice, but this is what I'm using right here. And after that, go ahead and stir them up and let it cook for about 2 minutes. Okay, so let it sit for 2 minutes and then come back and check again. So after 2 minutes, you can go ahead and add your shrimp powder in here. I'm adding about 2 tablespoons of shrimp powder. So this one is going to replace Maggi, instead of adding that. So here I have here my tomato puree. I'm just adding in here the one that we just blended with everything. Just go ahead and add in the sauce, stir them up, and then cover it back, and have it cook for about 30 minutes. Alright, so let's go ahead and start making our Ayoyo soup. So I'm going to start by boiling some water in here. This is about 4 cups of water, and I'm gonna add my okra in here. And next, go ahead and stir them up a little bit and cover it halfway and leave it to boil for about 5 to 6 minutes. Alright, so let's go ahead and check our sauce. It has been 30 minutes, so I'm just gonna add my seasoning right here. You can add any seasoning of your choice, but this is what I said I have in my pantry, so that's what I'm using right here. And just go ahead and stir them up. At this point, you can just go ahead and add your meat. Okay, the reason why I'm adding the meat right now is that I just want the meat to cook more in the stew, and I'm just adding here my beef stock right here from the meat. Yeah, and I'm gonna give it a very nice stir. Me say abumi pa. In fact, I wish you were here to smell it. Alright, so what I did is that I air fried my beef right here because that's how I like it. But you can just add it straight to the sauce, but I just like to fry my beef a little bit, and that's what I just did. I used my air fryer and I fried this beef. As you can tell, it looks very nice and so delicious. So go ahead and add it in there and give it a little stir and lower your heat, and also cover it and let it simmer for about 20 minutes. Alright, so as you can see, our okra is been boiling, so I'm adding in here baby spinach. This is an optional though, but this is how I like my Ayoyo soup. I try to make it extra healthy for me, and this is an optional though. You don't have to do it if you don't have spinach, but if you do, I'm going to recommend that you try this method. So after you add it in here, stir them up, and as you can tell, it cooks really fast. So on this side, I have my Ayoyo leaves right here, and I'm going to add it. In abroad, this is what we usually use to prepare our Tuo-Zaafi. But if you can get hold of the fresh leaves, then hey, you are blessed. My sister or my brother, you are blessed. But this is what we usually use to prepare our Tuo-Zaafi. It's the same thing, just that this one is cooked. Okay, so alright, let's leave it on the stove for about 5 minutes. Alright, so let's go ahead and get our T-zets ready. So I have here my corn flour. That's what I'm going to use to prepare my T-zets, in addition to authentic konkonte, that is dried cassava right here. This is different from the fufu powder, so don't get it twisted. Okay. All right, so we're gonna start by adding about 1 cup of corn flour right here, and I'm gonna add water in here, and we're gonna mix everything into a very nice and smooth consistency. Just go ahead and stir them up until you don't see any lumps in it, and then set it aside. Okay. All right, friends, so here is our okra is ready. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to transfer that into my blender, and I'm going to blend it into a very nice and smooth texture. This is how I always do my Ayoyo soup. I save time with that. I don't have to worry about cutting my okra into small sizes before I cook it. Next, I add in here my salt and just give it about 5 seconds, run through, blend it like 5 seconds, and your Ayoyo soup will be ready, just like your favorite restaurant Ayoyo soup, even better than that. Okay, so let's go ahead and transfer back into your pot, and start adding all your favorite seasoning right here. So I'm gonna start by adding some hot pepper just to give it a little extra spicy, and I have here my dawadawa powder. Just be careful with this powder because it is so strong. Yeah, you have to be very, very careful. That's why I'm not adding too much. On this side, I'm adding here my sage seasoning right there. And after that, just go ahead and stir them up. And as you can tell, it's looking really nice and so beautiful. Like how you make your Ayoyo soup, right? It's so slimy. That's why I like mine. So on this part, I'm adding my shrimp powder for extra flavor or taste in there. Me say Ayoyo soup aya akona nkasa. Me say ewi a ho eni di ho no be ko pa me so be diata fronsa. So after that, just give it about 5 minutes on the stove and it's ready. So back to our T-zet, I'm cooking my corn porridge right here, and after that I'm gonna cover and have it boil. Most of the time they have like T-zet powder already, but I usually make my T-zet like an authentic way. Going back in Ghana, this is how they always make it, and this is what I'm used to. So I'm just going to take some part of the porridge and set it aside because I'm going to use that later. So next, I have here my konkonte powder or my dry cassava powder, and this is about 1 cup, and I'm just adding in there, and make sure that you keep stirring until you can no longer see any lumps in there, like how I am doing right now. So as you gradually stir this food right here, just make sure that you add the extra porridge that you have on the side, depending on the consistency that you like. If you like your Tuo-Zaafi to be too hard, don't add a lot of porridge in there. But if you like yours soft like mine, like how I used to enjoy my Tuo-Zaafi when I was in Ghana, you can just go ahead and add more porridge in there. This is how we prepare in Ghana, and I'm used to this method because I think it's easy for me and it tastes just like Ghana Tuo-Zaafi. So soon our t-shirt will be ready. Alright friends, I have my sanka and I'm gonna enjoy like how they used to do it back home, like when you go to the chop bar or say, oh, actually to mommy, Miss Lottie Tuo-Zaafi bear 5 cedis be mommy why? Mommy bet send the pep on for be cry and kahon. We have a sawon quine so I the egg chain. So just like that, go ahead and dish them out, okay? And enjoy every piece of this hard work right here. So I have my sauce coming up with the meat. In fact, Okondo. Again, I couldn't say. Why, Shakerono, I am a murmur come on a question to go in chain. Jimmy say, Tuo-Zaafi, I am so happy that you spend the time watching this video because it is worth it. You want to try this recipe for your friends, your loved ones, you know, even your family. They will love this recipe. Just tell them that you learned this from OBAAPA'S recipes on Facebook, because OBAAPA recipe there, we cook everything authentic and so delicious. And after you learn your recipes, you can cook like a pro right here. Alright friends, so thank you so much for your time. I truly appreciate you being here, and also I just want to thank you so much for sharing this recipe. This is how I prepare my TZ recipe, and I hope you truly enjoy this. Until I come your way, stay safe, stay joyful, and have a blessed day.